Tanakariya Mali Mumisa Narada Sharara Saita Isa Yamakubera Digatara Jande Kabi Kabi Kai Samigande Tumangakarasu Viraichina Ramilaya Rajupati Maramandari Ishanamana Vangishwaradaya Sabayagachana Yugazahajaja Chadaparavan Nilutari Bhaguraparachandu Prabhumudri Kamdare Mukamari Alilangegara Ajarajamhari Urgamma Kajaja Karkechepe Sugamma Anubratumari Ramadulari Sumarakuvari Ohasanaya Inumarasari Sarangalari Sumari Sarana Rumaraka Paruko Benedictisa Aruvate Tilelogati Angandi Uravisajai Karanayavi Mahavira Javanama Sundari Nasiroga Harisabati Javatanirandara Hanumanasana Samgarina Harmana Churali Manakama Ajarana Jolari Bataramaka Aziraja Inatikaja Sankarakumasaja Urmanuraja Kavilavi Soviami Rajavanna Palapali Shanani Uga Ararumara Yedara Siddhaja Katuji Hara Sadhu Sandake Umarakuvari Asali Kandara Ramadulari Ashtasiddha Iridata Asharara Ida Janaki Mata Ramarajayada Kari Prasa Shararabu Ragupati Chitasa Jumari Bajuna Ramuku Pavave Janma Janma Dukavi Saravi Andakala Raguvara Purajai Janma Paragaragai Urivaka Tidanai Angarasi Sarasuka Kalimi Samgaramaravi Kesavapira Rosunere Hanumana Baravira Jaya 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 Hanuman Gosai Kripakarao Uriva Kinari Yojaramara Parayara Kuri Chudai Bandima Paduka Kuri Uyara Anurana Teresa Oesirisa Igarisa Tulsidasa Sadari Chela Kijina Harimavira Avanakaya Sankara Harina Malamudradimu Ram Lakshmani Raita Hridaya Vazuru Tiyavara Ramachandra Parideshan Yavari Ramachandra Ki Shivamanidra Hanuman Ki Umapati Mahadeva Ki Shri 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 Aksa Shri Guru Sant Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri 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 Aksa Shri Amritananda Mata Devi Ki Jai.
So if you're here and you're sitting, you can just stay seated. You can stop a few minutes. And if you're just arriving, you can just come right into the seat and just start tuning in. So good morning. I saw Ellen and Irene are here and Emma are here. And we'll see who else arrives. If you were, let's turn one thing off. If you were good. So, welcome and good morning. And if you were here a bit early to enjoy a nice seat, you can just stay there. It occurred to me as we are here moving really up into, we've been sort of transitioning, but for sure in my own home, as we look to the next couple of days of sending our kids back to school, and a lot of things are really picking up around here. It occurred to me how interesting it is to have these classes in this mode. And I mean, those of you that are here now, you are normally here in this space, and and seeing some of and experiencing for yourself that transition time between, bringing yourself physically here and arriving in the space and the greeting and, all of the ways that we prepare ourselves. And what's different, one thing that's really different is when you just sort of click a button and all of a sudden here is, this, your yoga teacher, and then all of a sudden we dive right in. And I know for myself, I find that really kind of abrupt to just go from whatever you were doing before, having coffee or rolling out of bed or working or whatever, and then to just hop right in. And the same thing goes with in our life, right? Like right now, it's felt in some ways like a very long, slow transition, and also like, oh my gosh, now we just jump right into the next phase. So I wanted to just offer a little bit of space to bring ourselves into this practice. And that's also why, one of the reasons why we begin sitting and we begin in this place of reflecting and just checking out what's here, and to really slow our brains down and to presence, to be in presence. So the class today is a little bit in honor of that, of the transitions of moving from one phase into the next, and in being aware and present to the process, to the steps from one place to the next. So go ahead and just bring your palms together. You can let your eyes close. You can come back to your seat. If you need a few cleansing breaths, if you've just arrived, cleanse with your breath. And if you've been sitting for a bit, see if you can just bring your attention right back. The more that we practice anything, the more typically the easier it becomes. So the more we practice just sitting down or being still and tuning in, we create a pathway with fewer obstructions towards presence, towards our capacity to be with what is right now. So as you feel yourself settle, or perhaps noticing just the difficulty to settle, being with that as well. And then you can welcome yourself and connect with your individual intention. Perhaps there's a particular transition or a process you're wanting to bring some awareness to. And as you begin to deepen your breath, just opening the central channel, the Sushumna, that runs from base to crown. And noticing how with your breath you can start to awaken and enliven your sense of this channel. And today in particular, really becoming aware of the channel itself. The central axis, Sushumna. And of the journey the breath takes through this pathway. And then using the support of your breath and this container, we'll chant the sound of Om, welcoming yourself and welcoming each other. Breathing in. Chin to chest, gaze to the heart. Releasing your hands. And we're going to start today on our back. Grab your strap or your belt, or whatever you have for that. Always can have a blanket or pillow for your head if you need it, if you prefer it. Otherwise, let's just take the strap long and just we'll set it off to the side. And come to lie down on your back. Stretch your arms out alongside your ears. And just take a really sweet, long morning stretch. And give yourself a good hug. Pull it all in. Ease to chest. If it feels nice to you to rock around a little bit on your back, you can do that. And then go ahead and stretch both legs out one more time. Good. From here, hook your thumbs, reach out through the arms, press up through your toes for a moment, and then pull your toes back towards your face. Inhale, long breath, stretch long, exhale, breath out the mouth. Do this 3 times, inhaling and extending through the soles of your feet and the tips of your fingers, and exhaling out your mouth. Let the belly move back towards the spine. Feel your back ribs press towards the earth. Good. Next time you exhale your breath out. Hold the breath out, pull the belly towards the spine, lifting a little bit the ribs. Extend through the arms and legs, breath held out, and then release your belly. And inhale, extend. Switch the hook of your thumbs, and you can do this a couple more times with your own breath. Tadaki Mudra, clearing space. If you're pregnant, menstruating, or just ate a big meal, avoid the breath holds. Otherwise, continue. And next time you inhale, you can release on the exhale. Pull your feet onto the earth, bring your hands down, and just graze your heels with your fingertips. Good. From here, we'll just open up a little bit with the spine, pressing down through the feet. Inhale, lift up through your hips, let your arms reach back, and then exhale, roll down vertebra by vertebra. Start slow, start easy, and just gradually begin to extend the hips with each inhale a little bit higher. Coordinate your movement and your breath. Breath guiding movement. Letting the vertebra come down one at a time. And then next time you lift up, pause here. Exhale the breath out completely. Hold your breath out. Drop your seat down. Feel that lift through the navel. Release your belly. Inhale, stretch up through your arms. And then exhale, bring your arms back down. You can do this a couple more times. Again, only if it's appropriate for you. Inhaling, lifting seat and arms overhead. Exhale the breath out completely. Hold the breath out. Bring your seat down. Feel the expansion through the ribs. Release your belly. Inhale. Exhale, arms by your sides. And one more time on your own. Good. Keep your feet right where they are. Bring your arms into a little cactus. And then just take an easy windshield wiper here. So knees move from side to side. Just opening up through the hips, through the sides of the waist. Could also feel really nice to interlace your fingers behind your head, like you're just chilling out. And then just let your knees move over to the left side. And if you have the space here to bring your right knee on top of your left, you can do that. And you can keep your hands where they are, or you could take your left hand and just place it gently to the top of your right thigh. Maybe turn your head, look over towards your elbow on the opposite side. And then inhale, come back into the center. Let your feet fall over to the right, or knees rather, fall over to the right side. Maybe left knee comes on top of right knee. Maybe right hand rests on opposite thigh. Turn and look the other direction. And here you can feel your breath, how it could move into the back and side ribs. And then inhale, bring the legs back into the center. Take your hands to the inside, grab hold of your ankles, let your knees open to the outside. And then here you can either hold your ankles, feet together, or some of you will have this space to interlace your fingers and come with your hands to the outside edge of your feet. And just gently move the knees apart. If you're holding on to the outer edge of your feet, even if you're holding your ankle, your shoulder blades are gently drawing onto your back, widen through the collarbone, soften through the throat and through your face. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, pull your knees back into the center. Place your left foot down, and then you can use your peace fingers here to grab hold of the big toe on the right side. And we're just going to take a little half happy baby, Hanumanasana. Your left hand comes to rest on your left thigh. And you can just enjoy here a little bit of pumping. So just feeling the sole of your foot kind of move up towards the sky and back down. waking up a little bit in this right inner groin as well. Good. And then just pause for a moment here. If it's possible and comfortable for you to extend that left leg, you certainly can. Just want to make sure that you keep the thigh close to the earth, nice and rooted. Good. Take one more nice breath here. Press the elbow and the knee against each other. And then cross your ankle to the outside of your left knee. Hands interlace around your shin or the back of your thigh. And then here, maybe you start with a little rocking on your sacrum. Release the foot closer to the earth. And then find the center. Drawing left knee towards chest. Supporting the right knee to move the right hip to open with your elbow. Release it. Just take both legs out to the sky. You can give your legs a little shake out here. And then we'll switch sides. Take Ardha Mobilize. Peace fingers come to the big toe on the left side. If that's not happening for you, you can grab the outer or the back of your thigh rather with your left hand. Right knee points straight up to the sky, and we just start with some little pulses here. Just bringing some breath, some awareness. And then come into stillness. Keep your knee bent, or if you have that space to extend it out, extend it out. Legs are active. Feet are active here. Front body is wide. Breathe into the back, ribs, especially on that right side. And then cross ankle to the outside of knee. Interlace fingers. Keep switching up the lacing of your fingers so your other index finger comes on top. And then relax the foot that's closer towards the earth. Foot that's closer towards your face is active, pressing out through the big toe mound. Let the navel move towards the spine on the exhale. And then release it. One more time, take your legs up to the sky. Shake it out. Get some movement going. Good. And then from here, take that left leg, put it back down on the ground. Bend your right knee. You can interlace your fingers just for a moment and start to make some circles with that knee. So now we're going to start to get a little bit more generous with the movement. And you'll feel even that you're rocking around kind of on your back. That's okay. And in fact, that might feel really nice just to get some big generous circles. Let's go the other way. See what's happening here. Now, you want to make sure you've got some space. So if you're right next to a wall, go ahead and just slide yourself over, because we're going to take our arms out into a big T. Support yourself through your shoulders and your arms here, and you're just going to continue to make these circles. But eventually, you can start to let, and in fact, I'm going to run into my stuff, so I'm going to move. Eventually, you want to have your leg starting to open. Now, really important here is to keep action in your legs. So my muscles are engaged, my foot is engaged, arms are steadying me, and core is steadying. Yeah. If this feels like too much for you, just keep your knee bent. Yeah. Good. And then take it the other direction. Feel some heat coming. If you've got any clicking going on in your hips, you'll want to slow it down, back off a bit, yeah, until that clicking goes away. Good. Make your circles smaller and smaller and smaller until you come right back into the center. And then here, just take your hands right behind your thigh. Press the thigh into your hands, and let's just make sure we're grounding that leg in. So draw from the heel down to the earth. Take a nice long breath in. And as you exhale, slide your hands up the back of your leg. You can here point out a little bit more through your toes, just to lengthen the front of your ankle. One more breath in. On the exhale, scoop the belly, let your nose lift, come towards your leg, and then release it down. Extend your leg out, just pause for a sec. See if you feel a difference here. Yeah, if you've already somehow gotten taller and longer on that right side. And then we'll come to the opposite side. So here we have the right leg extended, hands interlace around the left knee. Use your extended leg like an anchor. Really let it keep you supported here. And you're just gonna start going with circles in your range here. Go both ways. About 10 times each direction. Yeah, so you really want to get warmed up. Good. And then you can bring your arms out to the sides and just continue gradually expanding by gradually lengthening your leg out. And it's going to look different for everyone. So more important is how it feels in your body. Feeling here, you're activating your core muscles to support you. But your face doesn't have to do anything. Your face can just relax. And then start to take it the other direction. And then maybe, like I got some clicks there, so I know that's a little bit much. So I'm gonna bring it back in. So just listening. Sometimes your body literally talks to you like with, big sounds. Good. And then maybe you find that once you find that center, then you can expand it out a little bit. Good. And then go ahead and bring it back into smaller circles. And come back into the center, hands behind the thigh, grounding down. So now we just want to come back, really find our center here. Reach down through your heel, through the back of your leg. Press up through the sole of your foot. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, slide your hands towards your calf. Knee can be bent as much as you need here, but you're actively extending and rooting through your legs same time. Good. Next, exhale, breath. Scoop the belly, pull your nose up towards your knee. Inhale, lift a little bit higher. And then release it down on your exhale. Good. Release both legs down. Last time, just take a really nice stretch. It feels super lengthy and long here. And bring your knees into your chest. You can roll back and forth on your spine, or you can roll to your side, come all the way up. Plant your hands, walk your feet back. Take your downward facing dog. Pedal out through the backs of your legs. Give yourself a moment just to enjoy finding your way into your dog. Let your weight move more towards your fingertips. You might even just shift a little bit side to side. Lifting the palm of one hand and the other hand. Just whatever allows you to really find a nice steady dog. Taking 3 breaths in the still dog now. And from your dog, look forward. Come all the way to your plank pose. Bring your knees down to the earth and bring your chest all the way down. Good. Bring your hands right by your chest but wide on the mat. You can roll your shoulders towards your ears, press to the tops of your feet, and then let your chest elevate, gaze forward. Exhale to lower yourself down. Keep your palms on the earth or pull up to fingertips, shoulders rolling onto the back. Strong through your legs, gazing up, elbows in. Release down. One more time, just finding a wide arm cobra. And coming back down. Plant your hands, tuck your toes, press yourself back up through plank and into dog. And from your dog, here you can walk your feet towards your hands. Come to your forward fold. Grab hold of your elbows, bend through the knees, release top of the head. Uttanasana. Feel the kneecaps lifting up. Feel your belly scooping and into that hollow space. Let yourself fold a little bit more. Really release your top of head. Look up towards your belly. And then release your arms. Let's roll ourselves up vertebra by vertebra. Letting the upper body remain relaxed until the very, very, very end. Coming all the way up. Good. Just come to stand for a moment at the front of your mat in your Tadasana. And it can help, as always, to measure a little bit your feet. So here you can take one of your heels and just turn it in to the opposite big toe and then slide it back out. Yeah, so that's a nice way to get a good measurement for yourself. And then keep your legs here really nice and active as well. So finding the center line, squeezing the legs in. If you have been working with me lately, you've been working with putting blocks sometimes in between the thighs and reaching that back. So you can imagine that's there. Just let your hands come by your sides. Take a moment to presence what is here now. Inhale. Open your eyes, spread your arms wide, palms reach up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, hands to shins or blocks or earth. Exhale, step your left foot back. Keep your back knee lifted here. Go ahead and gaze forward. And then exhale, step it back into your dog. From dog, float forward, inhale. Exhale, lower to the earth. Rising up through cobra, shoulders rolling up and onto your back. And exhale, coming back downward facing dog. Looking forward on the inhale, step your left foot between your hands. And exhale, step your right foot forward. Bring your hands to your hips on your inhale. Come all the way up. Float the arms overhead. Exhale, come right back down the center line. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot back first through lunge and then bring it back. Forward into plank. Move down to the ground. Cobra. Downward facing dog. Right foot between your hands, lunge. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. Fold. Arms spreading out wide, lifting all the way up. Exhale, come right back down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, left foot back. This time, knee comes down. Hands can come to your knee. You can pause here, squeezing the legs towards each other. And then let your hands just float down by your sides. Good. Feel the sense of lift through the core line, through the Mula Bandha, all the way to the crown. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, hands to the earth, step back to dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale to the earth. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, left foot steps through, back knee down, coming up, low lunge. Pause for a moment. Feel the support. Hands can release. Breath in the back body as you inhale, arms float up, shoulders stay on the back. Exhale, hands touch down. Lift your back leg, step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold in. Reach your hands back here. Interlace fingers or hook thumbs. Take your hands away from your sacrum. Release to the top of your head. Folding in. Kneecaps lifting. Heels rooting down. Feel the support through the legs. Feel how that brings you into your awareness of your belly and your low belly, drawing back. Folding in. Hands to your hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. Take the arms up overhead. Exhale, come right back down. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, right foot steps back. Knee comes down. This time, lengthen your back toes as you float the arms up. Palms come together in front of your face. Scissoring the legs together, the Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor will lift. Breathing into the back of your body, find a little bit of a back bend here. Exhale, bring your hands down now to the inside of your front foot. Turn your toes out a little bit towards the corner of your mat. You can stay here on your right palm or tent up onto your fingertips and float your left arm up to the sky. Lift your hips as you do so. Reach that hand back. And then inhale, reach it forward. I'm going to do this 3 times. Exhale, twisting back. Inhale, coming forward. Good. Pulsing with your hips. Last time, arm reaches back. Good. Here, see if you can lift that back foot. Maybe you find the outer edge of your back foot. If you find the outer edge of your back foot, push your foot and hand against one another. If you don't, you can use a strap here. Keep grounded through this heel of your front foot. And then release. Bring your hand back down. You can frame that left foot, lift the back leg. This time come back down dog, split. Take your left toes and point them towards the earth. Inhale long through the spine. And then exhale, pull your knee out to your left elbow. Inhale, reach your leg back. And exhale, bring it to the center. One more time, inhale, reach your leg long. This time, exhale, pull it over towards your right elbow. Hold it here for a moment. You can extend through that outer edge of your foot onto the earth. Stay in a plank pose with your left leg crossed out to the side. And feel the nice stretch come through the outer hip and all the way down the IT band, the outer edge of your leg, pressing out through your big toes. Good. Pull your knee right back into the center, plank pose. Knees can touch down as you need or lower all the way to the earth. Inhale, rise up through your cobra. Exhale, come back to your duck. From here, press your shoulder blades onto your back. Inhale to look forward, and as you exhale, jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, long spine. Exhale to fold. One more time. Inhale and lengthen. This time as you exhale, step that left foot back, left foot back. Knee down, toes lengthen. Float yourself up here. Low lunge, arms overhead. Gazing right into the center of your palms. Feel the support of your base and the breath on the back line to lift your waist, lift all the way through the sides of the body. Gentle back bend here, throat long, face soft. On your exhale, bring your hands down to the inside of that front foot and turn the toes to point towards the corner of your mat. Pull the legs towards each other as you inhale, float your arm up, and then exhale, twist, hand reaches back. You can be on your palm or your fingertips on that front arm. Inhale forward, exhale back. Be in the process here. Today we're really exploring how we transition. And not just what's happening in the body, in fact, more importantly, what's happening in your mind. Let your back foot lift if you like. Find the outer edge of the back foot or use a strap. Or just pause here. You could also just pause and just keep the foot lifted without grabbing on. As you find yourself here, the pose may be rather static. But there can be and there will be shifting internally, more subtly. What little adjustments can you make to your attitude, to your breath, to your attention that will bring you into a more easeful, aligned experience? Release your hand, frame your front foot, lift your back knee, take that right foot all the way back behind you, and then we'll move through this flow, exhaling, bring your knee to your elbow, same side. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, bring it through the center. Inhale back, and then exhale over to the opposite elbow. Pause here, and then extend through your lower leg. Press so that the outer edge of your foot is on the earth. Your inner thighs are scissoring towards each other to draw your right hip away from your right shoulder. Fingertips are active, center of the palm, lifting away from the earth so that the arms are strong, eyes and the elbows towards one another. Heart softens into that space. Wonderful. On your next exhale breath, lift your foot, reach your legs straight back into plank pose. Lower yourself down to the earth, take cobra, or take up dog if you're ready for it. And take downward facing dog. From down dog, take 3 good breaths here to really find the connection. Shoulder blades onto the back. Hands rooted through the fingertips. Knees can start to bend and give a little bounce. Here's a transition. Flying to the front of your mat. Look forward. Use the support of your breath and exhale, come forward. Lengthen away on the inhale. And exhale, fold in. Take your hands back behind you. Hook your thumbs or interlace fingers the other way. Legs are strong here. Kneecaps lifting, thighs active, head releasing. Bend your knees, release your hands. Touch down to the earth with your fingertips. Float yourself up into your chair pose. Arms long alongside your ears. Sit back. Feel the support. And also feel the surrender, like you could just sit here. Good. Relax the corners of your mouth and the corners of your eyes. Inhale, rise all the way up. Take your chest away from your sternum. Maybe reach back into a little back bend. And then bring it forward. Samasthiti. Pause for a moment here. You can let your eyes close. You can just check in, see how you're doing. Where are you in terms of your attitude and your awareness through this process? And come back to your intention and your breath. Let your eyes open. Bring your hands to your hips. In fact, first, join me if you need it. Take a drink. I need it. Good. Okay. Hi, Gabri. Nice that you're here. Good. Bring your feet a little bit closer together. Weight on your right leg to start. Lift your left knee. Find something that's not moving. And then flex that foot as you cross your ankle to the outside of your knee. So figure four pose. And we're going to come to sit back. Hands can stay to your hips. Feel your weight distributed pretty evenly through your standing foot. Maybe a little more into the heel. From here, you have some options. You can sit here, palms together, and just inviting that left leg to move closer towards the earth. You could extend your arms out, bringing your fingers interlaced, extending through the index finger, and just gazing straight ahead. You may find that you can start to fold yourself forward, bringing your palms to the ground or your fingertips to the ground. If you're here and your foot hooks around the back of your arm, just let it be there. It's a good little practice. And then you can play with straightening through that front leg and folding in, releasing through the top of your head. So any of those are options. The fold, being with your fingertips, just kind of practicing touching the ground, arms extended out, or prayer. Some of you in the prayer may find that you can bring your forearms to rest on your shin as well. That's another option. So just being for another couple of breaths. And then on an inhale breath, we'll lift all the way up. Pull your left knee back in towards your chest here. Give yourself a good squeeze. Right leg is strong and straight and standing tall. Good. And then release it. Just pause for a moment. And then we'll come to the other side. So you can widen your left foot. Really let your toes spread out here. So you have a good base. And then the right knee lifts. Hands can be on your hips, foot is flexes, and then you bend your left knee, find figure four. It's interesting here to notice what your hips are up to. So if you bring your hand really to the outside of your hips, see if you can really keep that left hip moving back. And then just noticing your two sides will be quite different or might be quite different. I know mine are. This side is more challenging for me. There's more challenging in the sense of less mobility. So just being with your breath, being with what is. Noticing what tendencies come up in a process. Do you tend to push yourself? Do you tend to push through or past the sounds, the signs, like clicking or pain? Or do you tend to hang back? Do you tend to shy away from any places where there might be some difficulty? And can we start to pay attention to what are the signs and really knowing ourselves enough to know that maybe, well, just to know how we are, how we're responding. You can release the top of your head if you're folding forward. Releasing any sense of how it's supposed to be. What a practice that is. And when you're ready to release, you'll come up. You'll draw your right knee in, Good squeeze here. Left leg is strong. Tall stance. And then release both feet down to the earth. Good. Just bring your palms by your sides for a moment again. Just check in. Nice. Bring your feet a little bit closer. Maybe the big toes touch now. Float the arms up. Inhale. And exhale. Come to sit into your chair pose. In your chair pose, lengthen through the spine, and then we'll bring your right elbow to your left knee and take a twist. Palms together, lengthen through the sides of the body. Squeeze the outer hips, heels rooting. Maybe turn and look up towards the sky. Maybe you find it would feel nice to extend the arms apart and really spread your wings here. Inhale, look to the earth, bring your palms together if they're apart, and weight into the left foot, step the right foot back. Let's take a moment to be here. You could once again, if you like, turn and look up. And then release your back knee down, come out of that twist. Float the arms up alongside the ears, lengthen through the back toes. One more time. Finding that nice back bend, and this time maybe the arms come behind the ears. So arms moving faster than the ears. Hanumanasana. And exhale, bring your hands to the ground. If your fingers don't touch the ground, grab some blocks because you're going to lift the back leg, come into a pyramid pose with the front leg straight, folding on the exhale, inhale, lengthening. So your hands are right underneath your shoulders. Exhaling, elbows will bend straight back, folding. And see if here you can really find that the hips are fairly squared. That left hip is moving back in space. And maybe one more dynamic move. Then let the forehead rest towards your extended leg. Good. Bend through your front knee. Hands come a little bit forward. Perhaps take your left leg to the wall or whatever is behind you. Down dog split. Lengthen. And then let's ground through that right heel. Bend your left knee. And reach the sole of your foot over to the right. Keep your shoulders squaring, armpits turn towards one another. And we'll come through one more time with that flow for the knee. Inhale, look forward on your exhale, bring it to the left elbow. Inhale, reach straight back, exhale to the center. Inhale, reach it back, exhale to the opposite, right elbow. Hold here. Extend that leg out. Now we're going to flip onto the sole of the right foot, lifting the right arm up to the sky. We've been playing with this a lot, so maybe you're getting used to it. Reach the arms away from one another. Good. Maybe take your arm alongside your ear, make a big lateral stretch. Maybe some of you will bend that knee, the left knee, reach out and find the sole of your foot. So that's always an option to play with, especially if you've been playing with this pose quite a bit. Good. From here, lower your leg back down. Take your arm up one more time. Hand to the earth. Pull your left knee now all the way over and set it just behind your left wrist for pigeon pose. Pigeon pose, coming up onto your fingertips or having blocks. Let's start with the back toes tucked. And let's think about drawing the knees towards each other so that we could walk our hands up. As those of you know me now, I have really long arms. So for me, blocks aren't as useful here. If your hands don't touch the ground, however, you need to have something underneath you. So blocks, books, whatever. Something to support you. Of course, the legs are really active. Their knees are drawing towards each other. Pelvic floor is lifting. Sides of the body are lifting. So maybe you do have enough support to stay elevated here. Hip bones pointing forward. Maybe your arms float up. Maybe you have the space to take a slight back bend. Maybe not. Release the arms down if they're up. Walk your hands forward. Lengthen your back toes. Keep the sense of support through the base. And feel free to stay here if this feels like enough for you. I mean, I know for you, this will probably be better to do on your back. Yeah, so I know you modify nicely, but if you need to, make sure you haven't gone onto your back. And that goes for anyone whose knee might be a bit funky. You can take the same posture on your back. Lying on your back, knee towards your armpit. And then go ahead and come down onto your forearms. Here, you could use some blocks to support your forehead, or you could bring your elbows to the ground and let your thumbs support your third eye. Relax the shoulders and your tongue in your mouth. Bring your hands back down to the earth. For this transition, I want us to try to lift the knee and the ankle or top of the foot at the same time. So you're gonna have your hands planted, lift your back leg as though you were coming into plank pose, and then lift your shin, knee and ankle at the same time. Take that leg straight back behind you. Really extend long through your leg. And then inhale, shift forward into a plank split. Come to the outer edge of your right foot, and now step your left foot behind you. Lower down a little bit with your seat, and then press up into the earth. Lift your hips, extend that left arm long, and reach back into wild thing. If it's more comfortable to support your head with your hand, you can do that. And then transitioning back with your breath. If you'd like to take a flow through, feel free through cobra or up dog. You can take down dog. You know you can always take child's pose. And then we'll meet eventually at the front of the mat. You can play with the hopping shoulder blades onto the back, using your breath and the power of your intention to transition. Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off. Good. Lengthen through the sides, folding in. You can come up through chair pose. And then come all the way up to stand. Maybe a little back bend. And coming all the way to Samasthiti. Good. Okay, a little sip. How are we doing? No? We lost someone. Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll do the second side. Okay? So we'll give it a go. So, feet together, little bit of space for the heels. Coming down into your chair pose. Good. Find yourself in your chair and then turn elbow, left elbow to right knee. palms pressing into one another, lengthening through the left side, hips going straight back. You might check that your knees are in line, and then go ahead and turn and look up towards the sky or the ceiling. If it's fun and feels supportive to spread your arms wide, do it. Enjoy. And then come back with your palms together. Look down to your mat. Slowly, with awareness, think about transition. Step that left foot back. Finding your lunge. Really extend out through the sole of that foot. Really extend out. Try one more time with your gaze. It will maybe be a little more challenging. Notice what that brings up. And then look down to the earth. Plant your hands. And take that left foot all the way. Well, don't do it yet. Hang on. Bring your back knee down. Bring your back knee down. Lengthen through your back toes. There we go. Float the arms up. I was getting ahead of myself. And sometimes that happens, right? That's one of my tendencies for sure, is when I think I know what I'm doing to just rush through it. Maybe you do that too. So go ahead and find your Hanumanasana, supporting on the back line. Nice, sweet back bend. Coming forward, hands to the earth or to blocks. Lift your back leg, pyramid pose, Hanumanasana variation. Exhaling to folds. Inhaling to find length, fingertips or blocks. Feel how the body supports you here. Feel how the breath supports you here. And legs are super active. And then stay folded in for a couple of breaths. If your forehead is resting on your leg, you can sense how the shin is pressing a bit forward as your right hip is drawing back in space. Now let's bend that front knee. Now let's take our right leg back behind us. Stretch it straight back, toes towards the earth. Good. And then let's bend the knee. As you reach your left heel down, press your left foot over. Press your right foot over to the left. Turn your ribs and your chest to face the earth. So see if you can find this really sweet twist coming lower in the waist. And then on the exhale, draw your knee all the way over, touch your right elbow. Inhale to take it back. Exhale through the center. Inhale, reach it back. On the exhale, left elbow holds, extend. Left foot on the earth, right arm to the sky. Vashisthasana variation. Maybe taking it into the balance. Releasing that, reaching up one more time through the arms. Spread your wings wide, maybe look up to your top hand. And then place your left palm down. Draw your knee over, lower the shin down, knee and ankle at the same time for pigeon pose. Back toes are tucked to begin. Arms are just in front of you. Knees are moving towards each other to give some lift away from the earth. If you really have a tendency here, this goes for both sides, to kind of roll off to the side, you can take something, a cushion, a blanket, and place it underneath your hip to give you the support you need to stay elevated. Front shin, yours may be made more parallel than mine, yeah? So there's a whole range of options depending on what your body is equipped and up for. So finding yourself steady here, maybe hands on blocks by your sides or fingertips. Sense that there's like a zipper that runs from your pubic bone to your navel and then all the way up the front of your body. And that may give you the support you need to lift. You could even bring your hands to the sides of your ribs, to the armpits, lifting shoulder blades onto the back, arms extending up. Gaze soft and elevated. And hands release. Back toes can come long now. Feel yourself descend and yet keep the support through the root. Come on to forearms. If possible, support the forehead. Keep steady here. Weight should be balanced evenly between the left and the right side. How smoothly can you settle into that state of awareness? How steadily can you focus your mind? Releasing your hands down. Remember that transition, lifting the shin as one unit, coming back, reaching all the way back behind you. Down dog split, toes face the earth. And then shifting forward, play split, coming to the outer edge of your left foot. Right foot steps down, lower down a little bit. Feel the shoulder blade, press up onto the back. Lift through the hips, hand can stay at your heart. You may find that you catch the back of your head, look to your chest, and then let the head lengthen back into the support of your hand. So the throat feels really nice and open without the strain. You might extend the arm. Keep pressing through the legs, elevating hips, breath, long, steady. Coming back as you're ready. Flow through as you need. Let's meet each other in a child's pose. Take a couple more breaths in child's pose. So really descend your weight through your hips. And then go ahead and join me seated for a moment. It would be wonderful if you have blocks. If you don't have blocks, but you have something that is supportive, 2 large books or stacks of books, great as well. We're going to play just to close sort of this whole what we've been transitioning towards, which is Hanumanasana. which is a crazy pose. And it's different for everyone. Yeah? So the invitation is to, as always, be where you are. And not just to be where you are, but to be there with compassion. Yeah? So really accepting what the state of things from a place of kindness. And also to be aware of patterns. Yeah? Patterns of the body, but even more patterns of the mind. And just greet them with compassion. Okay? So Hanumanasana will go like this, and I'm going to give you some options, okay? So some of us will take Hanumanasana, others of us will take some variations. So you might want to have a blanket in the center of your mat, just to get started. And then have your blocks handy, take your right foot forward, left knee comes back. Yeah, so here, we can be up high on our blocks. So if you know that Hanumanasana is not your pose, then you're gonna do this. Yeah, everyone will do this, but this will be where you are today, okay? So you can start here, toes can be touched, and then you can bring your right elbow onto your knee, or you can keep hold on the block, okay? Left foot will lift up, hand reaches back, holding onto the foot, okay? This is where you can practice. If the elbow comes onto the knee, maybe the arm extends, maybe the heel comes in towards your seat. Okay, so that's option one. Yeah, more of a Mytree. If it's appropriate for you to come down, actually scratch that, just be there. From there, you can transition into half Hanumanasana. Keep your toes tucked, reach your hips right over your knee, and then extend out. And this is everybody, so everyone, you can join me here. Extending out through that right heel. Maybe some of you lower down onto your blocks, and the hips are squaring towards one another. There's a tiny bend in this front knee to avoid hyperextension. Maybe you'll find you have some support to fold forward. Okay? Good. So let's all transition out of here and just see how it feels to come and sit back onto your heel, toes tucked. Might be a bit intense. You can always come back here. Okay? If you're coming and playing with the full Hanumanasana, you'll walk your left knee back a little bit, and you'll walk your right foot forward. Blocks are going to try to stay pretty much right underneath your shoulders. And we're just going to play with sliding the foot out and walking the knee back. Now here, there's going to be a tendency to want to just extend out. So just like we did in pigeon pose, we want to pull in, and you'll actually lift away, and that's great. Staying with breath. Again, if this is not appropriate for you, you are staying in the Bekasana and half Hanumanasana variation. And you're here, I'm very, very slightly pulsing, using also my arms to just invite the body in. The Mula Bandha pelvic floor root is lifting. Belly is lifting. Awareness is rising up through the spine. And as you'll see, if you're looking, but hopefully you're more focused on you. For me, this pose is very much a process. And it's really not about getting anywhere in particular, except just each time exploring where I am and a little bit around. Yeah. Think of it like digging in a garden. You're just digging a little bit outside the edge of where you actually need to plant the flower. You don't dig up the whole garden just to plant one flower. Good. Now to come out slowly, steadily. It's knee, heel. Coming back. Move your blocks. This goes for everyone. Lift your back leg. Lift your front leg. Downward facing dog. Switch sides. Left foot comes through. Back knee comes down. Let's all of us start here in this Vikasana version. So either hand to block or elbow to knee. Lifting that back foot. Pausing. Your breath will tell you. Listen to it. You can try drawing the heel towards your seat. And again, this is a wonderful place to be. And you can remain there for a while or come back to it after we come through half Hanuman, Ardha Hanumanasana. Letting this left hip, you could use your thumb just for a moment to sense that this crease here is almost widening and the seat is wrapping up underneath you, maintaining, especially for the hyperextenders, a little bend through that knee. And then if you'd like to come sit back for a moment, this is a really nice place to just kind of check out what's happening, especially on that front leg. If you're intending to come all the way into Hanumanasana, I recommend giving this a go here. And then if you're moving through Hanumanasana, you'll join me walking your left foot forward, toes are flexed. Right knee can come back. And you may come off your blanket if you need to adjust. The second side is always precarious in the sense that, just like before, when I thought I knew where I was going, I was so focused on getting there that I missed some steps or almost missed some steps. Take all the steps here. So finding support through whatever is touching the earth. And even though you might be feeling like you want to stretch out, hug in first. It's the contraction and the stability that eventually allows for the ease, for the surrender. For some of you, this is a piece of cake. I know. That's because you're built that way, or maybe you've had experience, or you've worked with it. So enjoy your cake. And if it is cake for you, in other words, if you are, legs splayed out on the floor, your work then is really about the elevation. And maybe you're playing with extending through the sides of your body, arms alongside your head, like we did in the pigeon pose, in the pigeon prep. And now, when it's time to come out, you'll slowly transition yourself out. Step yourself back to your dog. And then bring your knees to the earth. You can slide your blanket away. Come all the way onto your belly. Pause for just a moment here, forehead onto your hands. You can shift your seat side to side. And then bend your knees. Let your forehead touch down to the ground. Reach back, find the tops of your feet. Hug your knees in. Squeeze your hip bones towards each other. Feel the pubic bone pressing onto the earth. And as you inhale, keep the knees rooted for this first one. Extend through the chest, rise up into a bow pose. Feeling that lift through the front line. Breath buoyant in the back of your body. Release down, pause. You can windshield wiper or shift your seat if that helps release any back issue. Back should be really feeling nice here. Yeah, if it's too much for both feet, you could always come up and take half. So forearm on the earth, grabbing one foot and then the other. Otherwise, you can join me again. One more bow pose. Tops of the feet. Knees moving in, hip bones moving in, pubic bone rooting, full breath in to rise up. And maybe the knees will elevate here as well. Staying with breath, enjoying that little massage you get as you gently rock forward and back. And release, come down. If you turn your head to one side before, turn it to the other side. And then bring your hands by your chest. Roll yourself all the way over onto your back. Reach long, again through your arms and through your legs. And then bring your hands down by your sides. Take your left knee in towards your chest, a good squeeze. And then just move that knee over to the opposite side of your mat. If you'd like to support your knee here, for example, with a blanket or a block, you can extend out through the left arm and just take a simple twist, looking over towards your hand. And come back into the center, switch sides. Right knee comes close to the chest, and then move over to the left side. Turn and look out to your hand. Feel your body receive your breath. Come back one more time into your center. You can place your feet onto the earth here. Let your knees touch for a moment, just resting. And then let's go ahead and take a very simple version, or inversion rather. So you could have a blanket, or you could have a couple of blocks. So here today I'm going to use a blanket just to show you, because some of you may not have blocks. And I'm going to make it sort of as tight and as firm as I can. So it's a pretty small little package, very firm. I'm going to lay it on my back. And then lift the hips and slide it underneath your bum, so that it's really under your sacrum. Have it as even as possible, okay? It might be a little bumpy, but as much as you can, even on both sides. And then pull your knees into your chest. So it's not on my low back, it's on my sacrum, okay? And then extend up through the soles of your feet. Hands can rest at your low belly or out to the sides. If you're choosing not to invert today, feel free to take a supine variation of Baddha Konasana with the feet together and the knees apart. Just let the shoulder blades soften, let the chest widen, let the tongue soften and widen. Sending a little gratitude from your toes all the way down through your legs for all of their support today. A couple more breaths here. And then start to bend both knees. Place one foot down at a time. If you like it's kind of a counter pose to extend your legs straight out. Again, only if that feels nice for your back. Hands could rest a little bit right on the thighs. If not, you'll just move this out from underneath you and rest on your back. If you have something underneath you, lift up, move it out. Take 2 or 3 breaths just with your spine, your back on the ground. And then one more time. Bend your knees. Now, if you would love to just go straight into Shavasana, go straight into Shavasana. If you'd like to join me for a closing chant, you can do that. Come to sit. And it's a good idea to have something, even if you feel warm in your body now, just to have something on to help retain that heat as your body cools down. Sit up on a cushion or blanket. And bring your palms together. Tuning in. And we'll close with the Shanti Path mantra. And those of you that are here live, I think you know the translation, but I'll just share it with you. From the unreal, lead me to the real. From darkness, lead me to light. From death, lead me to immortality. And then, may all beings be happy and free. So, this practice, this chant is reflecting how this practice is really about a process. Moving from one place to the next. And this journey that we undertake, it is solo. And yet we have so much support. So in this moment, you might just tune into who, what, is supporting you. And to offer gratitude to anyone who has made it possible for you to take this time to practice. To anyone who is also showing up as an obstacle. It might be the same person. And to know that any obstacles in our path are actually these opportunities to put into practice. Presence, awareness, all of the qualities we cultivate through being with ourselves and each other on the path. And so wherever you find yourself in your journey, wherever you find yourself in a process, in a transition, may you feel welcome there. I know that you're exactly in the right place and you have all the support you need. Let's close. Om Masato Masat Gamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Have a beautiful day, dear friends. Have a wonderful Shavasana. And I will see you next week. Remember that next week, as of next week, you will need to register for these classes. And you'll do that by going to our website, www.mytreeyoga.com, mytree yoga.com. And you'll click on online classes and you'll be able to do that. Register before class, you'll get the link and you can practice whenever you like. Okay. And I can't wait to see you soon. Bye.